Welcome back to another incredible update on the channel, Tennis Aficionados. You are totally missing out on what is quickly emerging as the most thrilling, astounding, and truly unprecedented storyline in contemporary women's tennis if you haven't been following what is happening in the sun-drenched California desert at the BNP Paribas Open in Indian Wells. We are discussing a profound change in the sports world. The story of what is generally regarded as the fifth Grand Slam of the year has been totally taken over by a cultural phenomena. Put aside the typical anxiety before an event. In tennis paradise, forget about the typical quiet before the storm. It has completely upended the Indian Wells tennis garden. The 20-year-old Filipina sensation Alexandra Ella is the epicenter of this enormous earthquake. As we speak, a video is making the rounds on all of the main social media networks, taking over the digital sphere and the entire tennis discourse worldwide. It has become extremely popular. Furthermore, it's not a video of a championship point. This isn't a video of a contentious umpire call. This video shows a straightforward, everyday practice session. Yes, that's right, a practice session. However, the scene shown in this video is anything but ordinary. It depicts Alexandra Ella, the recently ranked 31st in the world, entering practice court 6 and being welcomed by an enormous, boisterous, and intensely passionate crowd that is reminiscent of a Grand Slam final. In order to catch a sight of her hitting forehands, fans are arranged in rows, looking over the fences, and holding selfie sticks high into the desert sky. Other elite professionals are utterly stopped in their tracks as the chanting of her name reverberates throughout the players' lawn and into the players' lounge. In the best sense of the word, it is completely beat 'em. Alexandra Ella has now become the lead story on the tennis channel, and this viral moment has effectively cracked the internet and sent shockwaves straight through the broadcasting booths. Furthermore, a brief mention on a ticker strip is hardly what we mean when we discuss headlines. We're talking about comprehensive coverage, in-depth panel discussions, and utter amazement from some of the best minds to have ever examined the sport. Former athletes who are now analysts are seated at the Tennis Channel desk, completely stunned by the amount of attention she is creating. On national television, former American player Christopher Eubanks explains how the young star's unstoppable run could be fueled by this intense, suffocating crowd frenzy. Her grace, humility, and flawless hand-eye coordination are being publicly praised by Paul Annacone, the renowned coach who mentored the careers of legends like Roger Federer and Pete Sampras. Even former world number 5 Jeannie Buchet and Grand Slam champion Kim Kurz have gone on to compare Ella's soaring fame to that of Michael Jordan, Taylor Swift, and Manny Pacquiao. Take a moment to consider that. Because of her cultural significance and the overwhelming number of followers who follow her every step, a 20-year-old tennis player is being compared to the largest pop artist on the world and the greatest athletes in human history. We must go back in time and examine precisely how we reached this momentous turning point in order to comprehend the shockwave's immense size. It wasn't by accident that Alexandra Ella gained notoriety. Demanding a seat at the table, she kicked down the door. We are all familiar with the utter miracle of the 2025 season, the breakthrough year that fundamentally altered the course of her career. We watched in sheer awe as she pulled off her incredible Miami Open semifinal run, dominating the draw and defeating the sports titans. She defeated former Grand Slam champions in addition to winning matches. Yelena Ostapenko was sent packing by her. Madison Keys was defeated by her. And she stunned everyone by defeating Iga Swiatek in a match that will be remembered for decades. At that point, everyone in the tennis community understood Alexandra Ella was more than just a young player with promise. She was a deadly giant slaying force of nature who could walk onto the world's largest courts and look the world's top players in the eye without blinking. She has been incredibly successful after her historic run in Miami. She won a WTA 125 title in Guadalajara, won her first WTA final in Eastbourne, and defeated Clara Tauson at the US Open to become the first Filipina to ever win a main draw match at a Grand Slam. As we enter the first few months of the 2026 season, the momentum has only increased. From being below the top 50, she has risen to a career-high ranking of number 31. Driven by her amazing run to the quarterfinals of the Dubai Tennis Championships a few weeks ago, where she defeated Jasmine Polini and other top 10 players. With 10 victories in her first 16 games of the year, she is riding a surge of confidence and carrying the aspirations of a whole country on her 20-year-old shoulders as she enters Indian Wells. And that gets us to the current situation here in the Coachella Valley, where the spotlight is greater and the stakes are higher than ever. The BNP Paribas Open Draw is set, the temperature in the desert is rising, and Alexandra Ella has earned a highly sought-after first round by overcoming the initial obstacles and advancing straight to the second round. She's waiting to take on Jiangu or Diana Yastramska. And a huge, eagerly awaited rematch with American phenom Coco Gauff looms just beyond that in the possible third round. The tennis community is eagerly observing. Is she able to capture Miami's magic? Is it possible for her to turn this unheard-of viral excitement into a deep run in tennis paradise? Or will the immense pressure of being a worldwide cultural icon at the age of 20 prove to be too much to bear? The ELA effect has taken over the entire Indian Wells competition, and we're going to dissect this breaking story from every perspective today. We will delve deeply into her tactical development, the psychological effects of her fame, the background of her ascent, and the precise implications of this viral explosion for women's tennis moving forward. You won't want to miss this deep dive, so fasten your seatbelt. Now let's go on to the essence of what is truly taking place in California, because it would be a huge understatement and a disservice to the reality of the situation to just describe this as Alexandra Ella's popular period. At the 2026 BNP Paribas Open, we are seeing the development of a superstar. We must examine the structure of ELO's fan base and the distinctive cultural phenomenon surrounding her in order to fully comprehend the viral video that has sent the tennis channel into a complete frenzy. Tennis players have commanded enormous crowds throughout the sport's history. Everywhere Roger Federer went, we witnessed the frenetic energy that enveloped him. We have witnessed the fervent localized support for French players at Roland Garros or American players at New York. However, Alexandra Ella's demographic, intensity, and emotional commitment to the tour are very different. She is not merely speaking for herself. She is representing the Philippines and the larger Southeast Asian population, which has always had a strong interest in sports but has seldom had a domestic world-beating tennis player to support them. The people yelling her name and queuing for hours to watch her whack a bucket of balls with Madison Keys or Francesca Jones in that widely shared video from Practice Court 6 are not just casual tennis watchers. They are a very active, extremely committed community. When commentators bring up Manny Pacquiao or Jeannie Butchett compares this movement to the Sonia Mesa effect in India on national television, they are spot on. Every time Pacquiao entered the boxing arena, the entire Philippines came to a total halt. A single sporting event brought millions of people together, reduced crime rates, and eliminated traffic. The same kind of unifying transcendent force is starting to be commanded by Alexandra Ella. However, managing that degree of notoriety at the age of 20 has its drawbacks. For the previous 48 hours, the Tennis Channel's analysts have been debating precisely that. On the one side, there is the viewpoint of Christopher Eubanks, who made a compelling case that this fanfare can motivate a player to do extraordinary feats. Looking up into the stands and seeing thousands of people waving your national flag can give you an adrenaline rush that your opponent just cannot match when you are down a break or your legs are heavy in the third set. Anyone on the other end of the internet may feel intimidated by it. However, we also need to take into account the tremendous strain of expectations. Kim Kurz, a four-time Grand Slam champion, recently explained this in a podcast. She noted that Ella has a huge target on her back as a result of her viral fame. She was the hunter during her Cinderella run in Miami a year ago. She was the unidentified quantity fiddling with household funds. She is now being pursued as the 31st person in the globe. Every player in the locker room is aware of her name, is familiar with her ground strokes, and fervently wants to take the scalp of the tour's most talked about player. Since popularity is not the only factor in ranking in the top 30 worldwide, let's shift our focus from the cultural effect to the actual X's and O's. You get there by playing a devastating game of the highest caliber, and Alexandra Ella has developed into a master tactician on the court. Eala's baseline game has reached a new level of maturity, as evidenced by the film from her recent practice sessions here in Indian Wells, especially her hitting sessions with world number 1 Arya Sabalenka. She already has a tactical advantage because she is a left-hander, which opens up court angles that right-handed players find difficult to defend. But the real harm is coming from her trademark forehand. She can force her opponents far behind the baseline with this powerful penetrating shot that has enormous top spin before entering the court to take the ball early and reroute it down the line. Paul Annacone emphasized her ability to take the ball on the rise and her hand-eye coordination in particular. In today's women's game, this is essential. Being a defensive counterpuncher is no longer sufficient. Ella has demonstrated an amazing willingness to play aggressive first-strike tennis, and you have to control the game. Her physicality and mobility have also clearly improved. She occasionally struggled with the physical demands of playing into the second week of major tournaments last year. The tour is a demanding 10-month slog. However, her recent run to the quarterfinals in Dubai demonstrates that she has worked hard in the offs. She is recovering to the center of the court more quickly than ever before, tracking down drop shots with explosive speed, and slipping into her defensive corners with amazing balance. Her enhanced physique and very high tennis IQ combine to create a player who can adapt to any style of play. She is capable of finishing a 3-hour claycourt-style rally. She has the means to serve big and finish points in 3 shots on a fast hard court. Let's now examine her near future in the Coachella Valley. Her first round bye was made possible by securing the 31st seed, which was a crucial milestone. Skipping the opening round is crucial for energy conservation at a required 1,000 level event where the field is as deep and hazardous as a Grand Slam. She is now awaiting the outcome of the match between Diana Yastremska of Ukraine and Jingai of China. These two women are dangerous veterans of the WTA Tour with a great deal of experience. Ella's defensive skills and her capacity to absorb pace will be put to the test by Yasta's tremendous power and aggressive ball striking. Ella must be patient and carefully plan her points because Zhang Shui has amazing court craft and doubles expertise. Ella will have to be astute from the first ball, regardless of whatever woman advances. In a competition this size, there is no time to shake off the rust. However, the prospective third-round matchup with 4th-seeded American phenom Coco Gauff is the match that everyone on the tennis channel is already marking on their draw sheets, the match that, if it occurs, may actually smash viewership records. The narrative dream is this. Both Gauff and Ella are young, extremely well-liked, and the sport's bright future. A few weeks ago, they played each other in the quarterfinals in Dubai. A game in which Ella's run was stopped by Gauff's outstanding play. This week, A went on camera to express her admiration for Gauff, describing her as a fantastic athlete and a role model while also making it clear that she is eager for the rematch. She hopes to apply the lessons she gained from that loss in Dubai right away on Indian Wells' sluggish, gritty hard courts. In fact, Ella would have an advantage against someone with Gauff's lightning-fast speed in this desert environment. The court surface is quite gritty and has a strong bounce, but the ball soars through the thin desert air. Ella and other heavy topspin players can kick the ball above their opponent's strike zone thanks to this. We might be witnessing a true classic if Ella can take advantage of Gauff's forehand wing with those powerful looping left-handed cross-court strokes. Beyond the tournament's immediate ramifications, however, Alexandra Ella's appearance at Indian Wells went viral, indicating a much more significant change in the world of sports. The democratization of tennis fandom is happening right now. In the past, European and American tennis players have dominated tennis narratives. The biggest tournaments, media organizations, and institutions are mostly located in those areas. However, Ella and other gamers are changing the center of gravity. The traditional media establishment is compelled to take notice when a video of a Filipino player practicing goes viral worldwide. It compels the tennis channel to feature portions about her narrative. Because they are aware that the stands will be full and the streaming numbers will be enormous, tournament directors are compelled to schedule her on prestigious show courts. She is demonstrating on her own that anyone in the world can have exceptional tennis skills and enormous commercial potential. By winning the French Open and the Australian Open, Asian trailblazers like Leah opened up the enormous Chinese market, and she is carrying on their tradition. She is carrying the flame that Naomi Osaka left behind. Ella, however, has a narrative all her own. She is not as tall as some of the major players in Europe. She is not from a nation that has a strong history of producing Grand Slam winners.